next one is M, is manage your emotions. Manage your emotions. You can't build intimacy if you can't manage your emotions. I've found out that most troubles or quarrels people have is not with their partner, is with their feelings. All right? Most of the trouble or quarrel you have is not actually with your partner, is with your feelings. How are you processing your feelings? I don't measure how strong a couple is by when everything is peaceful. I measure it by when they are frustrated. How do you deal with the anger, the frustration, disappointment? That is the real measure of how strong your marriage is. When you are disappointed, when you are frustrated, when things did not go your way, how are you reacting? That is how we know whether that marriage is strong or not. Not when there's peace. Everybody's happy when there's peace. Everybody's happy when everything is going as planned. We are talking about when things don't go as planned, when you are disappointed, when you are frustrated. How are you managing your emotions? Most quarrels in homes are not between the spouses. They're just between one person and their emotion. So if you are going to build intimacy, you must learn to manage your emotion. You must learn to manage how you feel and how you react to the situation. When your partner disappoints you or doesn't come up or doesn't show up, how do you even bring it to his notice? Some people at that time, they want to wash the person down. Let me give you something as a general rule. Whenever somebody is behaving out of character, don't react the first way that comes to you. Your first instinct is to give fire for fire. That's your first instinct. And fire for fire will burn the house down. Your first instinct, like the Bible says in 1 Peter, is to do railing for railing, shouting for shouting. That's your first instinct, and that is wrong. Managing your emotions the crucial way. Like I told you, the corner in the house is not between you and your partner. It's between you and your emotions. That time you are frustrated, how do you even go approach bringing it up? Many people, the way you bring it up, there's no way peace will reign. It will lead to war because of how you bring it up. Master the art of putting your emotions under. Don't react emotionally. There are a few tips to managing your emotions. I can't go into all. I'll mention a few tips. Number one, always practice the pause. Just pause. Don't respond immediately. If you respond immediately, 90% of the time you will respond wrongly. Every time you want to respond immediately, depending on something, you want to just shout at them, you want to wash them down, you want to insult them back, you want to, rebuke them. Just pause. Women in particular, I try to coach women in communicating with men, because women are the ones that complain that my husband is not talking or not communicating. Women love communication, but most times they don't know how to communicate with a man. I have a YouTube video why your man is not talking to you. I coach women in that video that men hate talking to women because women first feel, they process from feeling, and men process from logic. So they don't know what you're talking about. Why are you feeling? They just do this thing, they just want to solve problems and move on. So I tell them, look, the man you're dealing with is not great at communication like you. So you must know how to react to him. For instance, if your husband tells you anything, your first reaction is to be calm. Most times the man is scared to tell you because he thinks you will not be able to handle it. And you too, you prove him right. The more he tells you, say, hey, you just shout, you say, you see. So I tell women, if your husband even tells you I killed 3 people yesterday, just say, okay. Who else knows? Hope nobody saw you. Be calm. Be calm. Then ask him, where did you bury them? If you are that calm, he will take you to where you buried them. When you get there, you find out it's 5 people he killed, not 3. Most times the man is managing you. He's afraid of what you will do, so he will tell you small and see what you will do. Most times you prove him right, that there's no way he can communicate with you. So be calm. All right. Now I tell women, the more important the discussion, the less emotional you need to be. The more important the topic you want to talk to a man about, that's the less emotional you need to be. Most times women bring their whole emotional capacity to talk to a man. He is blocking a man can't handle the emotions. That your capacity for emotion is not, his own is very small. Very, very small. So he can't cope with what you're about to bring. He can't handle it. That's why they did experiment with men and women having heated arguments. They put machines on their body. They found out that the man's heart rate and blood pressure, everything during a heated argument is very high, 99. He literally wants to explode. That's why when there's a serious argument between a man usually wants to leave the place. He can't cope. He's about to explode. A woman's own. They checked it. When the serious argument, it was the same before, during, and after. So whenever there's a heated argument, when the man says, I want to go, what does the woman say? You're not going. Because she's having fun. She's enjoying this. So we're not fighting. We're just talking. The man can't cope. He can't handle it. He wants to run. The man's solution to heated argument is escape, flight. Because the only other option, if he doesn't take flight, is to fight. And he's a lethal weapon. He's a lethal weapon. A man is fight for him is a do or die issue. Oh, I love when women fight. Women fight is not final. Women can fight here, argue, and for them they just express themselves. If a man wants to fight, he believes it's a do or die. It's a final. We're going to finalize the issue. So he usually wants to run. He can't cope with the stress. That's why my mentor, one of the guys that coached me in relationship coaching, is one biggest mentor, well respected, has many bestsellers. They've been bestsellers for many years. He's well respected. Most of you know me. Even Harvard respects his materials and everything. Most of you know him. He's a professor emeritus. Professor emeritus, very respected person. Professor Solomon David in the Bible. You don't know? You don't know him? He's a professor now. He has done research that even Harvard has not done. In research having 1,000 women in his life at the same time. Harvard has not done that. And he still died of natural causes. As in they didn't kill him. And he had those women without digital age. He was dating them, marrying them manually. 700 wives. How do you remember their name? So Solomon, after having 700 wives, 300 concubines, 1,000 women, he said, if you marry a contentious woman, a man will go and live in the corner of the roof. Why is that happening? He can't cope. See, if you marry a contentious woman, you go and live in the wilderness. Because a man's brain can't handle. See, our brain is one track. Women need to understand this. Our brain is one. So you can't scatter it. Your own brain is like operating like a machine. It has many portals open at the same time. It's like a smartphone. Many portals are open. So if you are arguing with a woman, at the end of the day, you don't even know which one we're arguing about. Which one was it? Because she's going here, she's going here, she's going to the past, going to the future. The man can't cope. He'll just go to the wilderness and go and sit down and sleep. So when you're talking to him, the less emotional you are, the better. Because if you are intense emotionally, he will block off both the emotion and the information. Because he has to block everything. What you need him to get is information. So try to pause. All right? Process your emotions first before you have that conversation. Have it at the least emotional time. Maybe when you're even doing something, just mention it that, hey, I wish you came home earlier yesterday, but it's okay. It's fine. Let's watch the match. Who's winning? Just like that. It will sink better with a man than trying to engage him in a heated argument. He will blank that whole scenario, both the emotion and the information. So practice the pause. Very important. Always pause. Check even whenever you've replied somebody's message or replied somebody. If you reply immediately, later you begin to feel, I could have coined this thing better. It always occurs, I could have said it differently, because you reacted and responded too quickly. You never go wrong by pausing. Always pause. You don't have to answer today. You don't have to give a response right now. All right? Pause helps you. Another thing that helps you to manage your emotions is perspective. Always understanding people's perspective will help you answer them better. Don't try to answer them without perspective. A lot of times your first reaction will be wrong. I will share the popular story. I'm a football person, like most of you know. So we traveled to UAE for something, and it was time for football, Champions League. So I went to watch a match in a viewing center. So UAE is like, I don't know how to describe their timing, but basically the match ended around 1 a.m. their time. So after the match, I took a taxi back to my hotel. I like sitting in front, so I sat in front of the taxi with the taxi driver, and the guy was chewing gum. This was the most irritating gum chewing you have ever seen in your life. It was loud. And he was shaking his head while he was chewing it. Very disgusting, very irritating. I was so angry. And I kept saying he will stop, he will soon stop, he will soon stop. And the guy continued. It got to say I couldn't take it anymore. I just blasted the guy. Now, which kind of customer service is this? I began my coaching. My motivational speaker came out. I said, which kind of behavior is this? When you have your clients in the car, there's a way to behave. When you are carrying people, I began to coach the guy and correct the guy and shout at the guy. How can you be chewing gum this loudly? The guy interrupted me at some point. He said it's usually in night shift like this because he works overnight, then 7 a.m. he sleeps all day and continues midnight again the next day. But that on this particular day he did not sleep. So as he's driving me now, he's feeling sleepy. That's why he's chewing the gum. I said, be chewing loudly. Loud! I want to hear you chew. Be chewing the gum. The moment I discovered that gum was not saving our life, I said, chew loudly. If you have given, I'll chew with you. We'll chew together till we make it home. We'll make it home tonight. I don't want to die today. You see, the moment I got perspective, if then you understand why your husband or wife is acting the way they're doing, you'll be more tolerant. A lot of things you think you can't take, you can take if you understand why. You become more compassionate. He has never had a dad. Maybe his dad had 18 wives. He doesn't know what it's like to be committed to one person. It's part of what you inherited. In marriage, it's for better, for worse. We really don't have deal breakers inside marriage. Inside marriage is the death do us part. Except your life is under threat. That's what they mean. Aside from that, that's what you signed in for. You inherited all assets and liabilities. You know, that's the hard part of marriage people don't want to hear. People want to do trial and error. If it's not working, I come out. That's not really the design. The design is that we'll stay here and we'll work it out. So if you understand why he or she is acting the way they do, you'll be more compassionate and tolerant. So pause, then perspective. There are many other things that help you manage emotion, but I'll just stop with those two. The baseline is, for us to be intimate, I can't give you fire for fire. When you upset me, I can't wash you down. I can't talk you down. Even if I'm going to bring something to your attention, I need to wait till I'm calm to tell you nicely that, hey, you know, I would have liked this. A soft answer always turns away wrath. Always. But the mistake we make most times that when somebody upsets us, we also give them fire for fire, and it never brings peace. Always causes problem.
Okay, so I'm sure we don't need to talk about this managing emotions again. Pastor K has done a great job. So let's just recap. I is what? N is what?